before I used to plan like, oh yeah, let me give myself some years. Like we're moving at speed now. And the kind of people I'm talking to, their minds are very fast paced and they move at like, do you know what I mean? So I'm constantly having conversations with people who are doers. Some of the greatest things that have come to me have been by someone just extending an olive branch, you know? So I join communities of people who extend olive branches without expecting anything in return because they want to just see you grow. I know a lot of people who get offended by so-and-so hasn't supported my brand or posted on their story because it's a friend or it's a friend of a friend. It's just like, is that friend of a friend going to change your life? Do you know what I mean? Like you're not creating a business for who you know right now. You're creating it for the audience who requires the business that you're making. So when I was asked, what do I want to do? I broke down in tears because I didn't have a clue. So when I found out about consulting, I was happier because I was like, okay, it seems like more like me. The biggest challenge was isolation and loneliness.
Okay.
I started in a pandemic, so all I knew was...
Welcome to the Takeoff Experience, where I sit down with highly driven people to talk about their journey, their failures, and their successes. If you want to take off in your career, your business, your finances, or your mindset, then this podcast is for you. Welcome back to the Takeoff Experience. We have a special repeat guest, actually, Toyosi. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. I'm doing well, thank you.
Yeah? So you're coming down from the east side of London, right? Yeah? How's it? How was it? So you're actually from Romford, right? You said.
I am from East. Yeah, nearby Romford. Yeah.
What's it like down them sides?
Sorry. Do you know what? I'm always in my house, so I don't really like. I'm not local. Like I'm not about.
Is it?
But I go into Central a lot.
Yeah. Why Central?
That's where I'll be.
Is it?
That's what I'm looking for.
That's it.
Yeah, that's where the things I'm doing are based.
So for those that haven't listened to the podcast, like when we did an episode about a year ago, who would you say Toyosi is
now?
Yeah. You think you've changed actually since then?
I've evolved.
Okay, cool. Tell me who the evolved Toyosi is.
I'm finally the woman I always knew I would be.
Okay.
Which is it's an amazing feeling because it's like, not that I have imposter syndrome, because a lot of people say that that's a thing, but being acknowledged for what you've been working on and then getting the accolades is like, oh my God, it's actually happening. But it's like, oh, it's me that it's happening to. So sorry, in a nutshell, I am the creative director that I always knew I was going to be.
Okay, what are you creative director of?
I'm a creative director of an art business and an art brand that decorates spaces, homes, and places.
Okay. Cool. So, who else is Toyosi apart from the creative director?
She is a what is she? Oh God,
it's tough to answer who you are, right? Because you probably work so much.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I'm also an artist.
Okay.
So I create artwork. I'm also a friend and a daughter.
Yeah.
So many different things. But I'm a boss babe in a nutshell. I'm a boss babe.
You're a boss babe now, yeah? Okay, cool. I love that. I love to hear that. So what's new? What's new with Toyo Writes? That's changed since we spoke a year ago.
Wow, so much has changed since we spoke. For instance, I've done pop-ups at HSBC.
Yep.
Barclays.
Wow. How did those come about?
They actually reached out to me, HSBC. They got in contact with me and were really interested in my brand. So they were talking about investing in the brand and they were giving opportunities to discuss that further. So they were giving me that space to like show that they were really interested. Barclays was an accelerator program for founders and entrepreneurs. And I got into the program and then they offered the opportunity to stage my artwork there when people were pitching for funding for the last part of the accelerator program. So on that day I was showcasing my artwork. Okay. My intern was helping
to other people on the
on the program and like potential investors and like people in Barclays as well. So
Mad. What was the reception like during that time and how did you feel about
the reception? At Barclays.
Yeah, both. No,
it was amazing. I think people saw the work and they were like, wow, what is it doing here? Like they were like shocked as like, why is it so nice and why is it here kind of thing. And I was like telling them, for instance, when I went to HSBC, I was like, that one was very intense for me because the HSBC opportunity was right opposite KPMG.
Okay.
And obviously, you know, Ato and I
used
to work together. So being opposite KPMG on Canary Wharf, that same street, Canada Square, was crazy. Like selling my artwork. And being invited to sell my artwork. Like that was like intense because I knew the story. I knew how I felt when I left. I knew how I didn't know where I was going because I just felt like it was time to try something new, but I had no direction. So yeah, it was.
Wow, that's crazy. So you're telling me when you said HSBC, I just was thinking HSBC generally, but you're saying the HSBC in Canary Wharf.
Yeah.
And you're opposite the KFMG building. Now we can say KFMG because we didn't say it a year ago. I mean, I've left now. And again, we're not trying to.
No, it was an amazing time. It was an amazing time.
But of course, challenges if you want to hear about it, you have to go and listen to that episode. We're not going to repeat it here.
Yeah, definitely.
So I get it. So I guess that was a sense of joy for you in a way, like a sense of overcoming
fulfillment.
Yeah,
absolute fulfillment. Because KPMG was the stepping stone to who I am now.
Yeah,
but it was the breaking point to who I was before.
Yeah,
because I no longer felt like I was fulfilled in that environment. So yeah,
and you feel full.
Oh yeah, so now, yeah.
Oh man, that's crazy. That's crazy. I've seen that you had a few other pop-up stores, right? Like I saw John Lewis, Brent Cross as well. Tell me how those came about.
John Lewis is amazing. They came about through the Great British Pop-Up. So they have me in their program of businesses in their roster. So they kind of like told us about the opportunity with my business partner, and we were available for Blue Water, Lakeside, John Lewis, and it was incredible.
Wow,
it was incredible. Yeah,
that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So tell me what you do now in your day to day. What's that like?
In my
I want to know what's changed. Yeah.
Oh wow! So I mean, since the Telegraph announcement that recently happened, I'm now talking to like very, very successful entrepreneurs.
Okay.
And
did they reach out to you?
Yeah, we're all in like a community together now.
Oh wow!
These women who are absolutely incredible. So we discussed like where we see ourselves. Like I was having a coffee the other day, and one of the ladies on the program, her question to me was, "Yeah, where do you see yourself in 6 weeks?" Like
6 weeks.
Do you know what I mean? Like those kind of conversations. Like before, I used to plan like, "Oh yeah, let me give myself some years." Like we're moving at speed now, and the kind of people I'm talking to, their minds are very fast paced, and they move at like, do you know what I mean? So I'm constantly having conversations with people who are doers. People who get things done, not just talking about it, you know? So that's where I am now. And the Telegraph announcement was absolutely amazing because these were 100 female entrepreneurs to watch in the UK. And I'm so thankful that I'm part of that list.
Yeah, I'm proud of you, man. That was sick. That was dope. Yeah. That's so great. So, okay, so that was the Telegraph 100 female entrepreneurs to watch, right?
To watch.
That you were part of. Yeah. When did you find out about that?
I knew about it since September.
Okay.
But it's because it's very those kind of companies, you can't just be announcing things without permission. So we had to keep it quiet till November 18th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So talk us through the process. It's always interesting to know. So what happened? They reached out.
Yeah. So senior people on the Rose Board Review, they're a women's membership review board that look at upcoming and successful female entrepreneurs and startup companies. So they give the opportunity for women-owned businesses to get their name out there, but you have to tell them the story about your business, tell them what you've done, your success metrics and those kind of things. And I told them about myself, and so did thousands of other businesses.
Oh, wow.
They shortlisted 100 of the ones that they felt were extremely...
What did you tell them about yourself? I'm curious to know.
I told them how I was once very much in the corporate world, left and took the big leap of faith before a global pandemic, found myself...
Which is true, yeah, you did.
Global pandemic with no help, no funding, no investment, just myself, and started a business with just 4 blank walls and decided to create some artwork that got endorsed by Hollywood celebrities in 2 months of launching. So that's what I told them.
Wow. So that was it.
Do you know, because it's the reality of it is it was the craziest, most difficult thing that's ever happened to me. And it's like, it needs to be told. Yeah.
It is when you look back at it, like how it's crazy because when you started, you never knew that a pandemic would happen. No. But you didn't quit. You went through. And obviously Megan Good endorsed it, Priscilla endorsed it, and a few other people definitely endorsed it. Which was obviously crazy for you, right? And then now it's just like continued W's throughout the year, which is sick. Like it's really amazing. Like I'm really, really happy for you. It's crazy now because we obviously spoke a year ago and we were speaking about that. I don't think you would have ever believed like a year later, which is a quick turnaround. This is the next thing. So what do you think is going to be the next thing then? What are you aiming for next?
What am I aiming for?
Yeah, because people ask you 6 weeks, right? So you must have had the year in it.
Yeah. Okay. What am I aiming for? I'm aiming to be definitely a globally recognized brand.
Yeah.
I'm aiming to have locations in multiple different countries, having multiple pop-ups in different countries.
Yeah.
Artwork in very incredible spaces and places, big names, restaurants, hotels.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, and even I also do event decor. So I also do like.
Oh, you're doing that at the moment?
Yeah.
Tell me what is that like? What's that like?
So private dining and supper clubs are a big deal right now. A lot of people love hosting like really bougie looking dinners and stuff.
Okay.
And they love decorating the tables. So I have like incredible clients who come to me and say they want their birthday to look amazing. Can I design a private menu for them? Can I design an illustrated menu?
Really?
Yeah.
It's a thing.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal. So I've done, there was a menu where there was a private birthday and some of the guests were celebrity guests on the menu. So it's like people really like this vibe right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is interesting. What other stuff is like that? Because that's so interesting.
Yeah.
I would have never thought about that. What other stuff are you doing that's similar to that, would you say?
What else am I doing? Okay, so I do commissioned pieces.
Okay.
So like you could come to me and be like, oh, I really love this picture of my wife and I. Could you illustrate this for us? And then we want to use it as packaging for our goodie bags for our next event or something. So just like repurposing designs and making them like for products. Yeah. So I've done designs for people's fashion lines and scarves, and I've done designs for people's packaging for their hot chocolate and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah.
It's gone to that level?
It has.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Would you have imagined, is that what you thought it would go to? Like how it would be?
The beauty of what I do was I started with simply just affirmations and like very minimalist artwork. Yeah. And then when people saw how I can actually, I'm beyond just like lines and pretty pictures, I can actually do very complex designs and complex artwork. I started to get commissioned for different products that I didn't even think. I never thought of doing product design. I never thought of doing menu designs. I never thought of doing commissioned that kind of stuff. I just thought, okay, art walls and stuff. And then people will come to me with different ideas, and it's a challenge every single time.
Yeah. But are you enjoying that though?
I love it.
Yeah. I mean, because you're getting to utilize your skills, right?
Yeah.
In that moment. That's crazy. I wanted to know about boots. How did that happen? That's great. Yeah.
Do you know what? Once again, it's all about networking.
Yeah.
When they saw the brand, they were like, we want to endorse small businesses right now, and we would love for you to sell your artwork in Boots.
Wow.
And that happened, I think 2021 we spoke, and shortly after Boots happened.
Okay.
So yeah, that's how it happened.
Mad.
And then when myself and my business partner, we got together to host the
Wait, you got a business partner?
Yeah.
Do you have a business partner when we spoke?
I don't think I did.
Okay, talk to me about that. What's going on here?
Yeah, so she is an interior designer.
Okay.
And she sells vases handmade by herself, like hand design. Sorry, she designs them. So interior design is my industry as well. Yeah. So obviously selling artwork partnered with the vase that looks perfect for it goes hand in hand. So we just decided to join forces, and
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So how is that work? What's that like compared to, working on your own?
Do you know what? Another challenge, like, because with growth comes more people, more responsibility. Yeah. But having a like-minded business partner is the best thing, because those are new ideas coming my way. Like, she even encouraged me to do more consulting, because in KPMG I was doing consulting. So now with my business partner, she's like, "You're such a consultant. You need to get back into that." Kind of thing. So giving
into
people,
that mindset, right? Yeah.
Like giving people entrepreneurial advice, and stuff. I do that on the side as well.
Okay. Wow. How many things are you doing at the moment? So obviously you're doing your business, Toyo Writes. Yeah. What are the other things you're doing?
I'm also I also take on UX contracts.
Okay.
User research contracts, consulting contracts.
Wow.
I do speaking events.
You do speaking too?
Yeah, one-to-one mentoring here.
Okay.
Commissioned artwork for events as well.
Wow. And it's like 5-6 income streams.
Exhibitions.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. That is mad. You mentioned something I was thinking about, networking.
Yeah.
Can you talk to us a bit about how you've done that effectively and how that's worked for you?
I think that it's incredible. Like, I join communities of like-minded people, and you find that like-minded people share opportunities. Yeah. Because I'm the kind of person that some of the greatest things that have come to me have been by someone just extending an olive branch, you know? So I join communities of people who extend olive branches without expecting anything in return because they want to just see you grow. So being part of a Barclays Eagle Labs, being part of, what else am I a part of right now? The 100 Female Entrepreneurs to Watch list. Being part of other things like All Bright, which is like a female founded females club kind of thing. Soho House, like these kind of different places.
Yeah, Soho House as well.
Yeah,
I've been hearing a lot about that. I don't know what they've done to attract more people, but
it's creatives, you know, like it's just communities. Yeah. So.
Okay. And so you, it sounds like you enjoy being part of the in-person communities. These guys have like a lot of events. Albright, I think I heard about recently. Soho House again. I think I've got a friend that goes there and they're talking good about it. I don't know nothing about Soho House. I've never been there. I don't know what it's like. I've been hearing more about it. So I was like, have they changed the way they've set up? Or
I think
I feel like they were a bit. I don't know if I'm wrong, but I felt like they were a bit more exclusive. Like you couldn't just join, right?
You can't still. The reason I'm part is because I'm a creative. You can't be like, oh, I have £400 a month to spend on Soho House membership.
Really?
You have to say what you do in order to be a member. But what they do have is Soho House friends. So if you are a friend of someone who's a creative, you can come with them to Soho House, but membership won't just... Some people, like investment bankers, don't even get membership to Soho House.
Really?
Because you have to prove you're a creative.
Oh, okay, so this is just for creative people.
Currently. I don't know if they're
how have I never heard about Soho House before? This is crazy.
Yeah, I guess because you've been in corporate for so long. And even when I was in KPMG, I didn't really know much about it.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's interesting. That's crazy.
Then again, I'm not the Soho House founder, so these things can change.
I mean, yeah, it could do. It could do.
Yeah.
How are you finding that though at Soho House? What's the experience like the people there, and you feel like you're learning a lot there? Yeah,
I mean, in Soho House, you're actually just meant to socialize. It's not like you're networking for opportunity, because the nature of their they don't push you. It's not a networking like business wise. You're actually just meant to socialize.
Okay.
So it's just to let your hair down, say hi to someone who might be doing something cool as you, and then offline you go and talk to them later. Okay. But it's not like you come to Soho House, you're like, oh, I'm about to have a networking session at Soho House.
Okay.
It's definitely just a chill.
Just a chill place.
Have food,
chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. This place is making me wanna. I think I'll get in. I'm a creative.
Yeah,
my podcast is creative. Yeah, this is my creative. Yeah,
I think I'll get in.
I think I should be all right.
Don't quote me on Soho House though.
I mean,
it's a great place.
Yeah. No, it sounds like it. I've got a friend that goes there, and he actually invited me to go there, so I definitely will take him up on that offer. And you can invite me. You can invite me.
Yeah,
too.
Of course you'll come.
What would you say you've learned in the past year? Like, what's the biggest lesson that you've learned? Because obviously, like, I can imagine that you've done a lot of work last year, and obviously there's been a lot of learnings. What would you say is the biggest lesson that you've learned?
I would say that in time, you will get the recognition you deserve. Just don't stop. Do you know what I mean? Like, I never knew, like I always knew that I would need some level of PR for my brand. But when I worked so hard, the caliber of PR I got was worth my effort. Like the first newspaper I've ever been in is the Telegraph. The Telegraph is one of the best British papers, like standard wise, we're talking that. And it just goes to show that I didn't have to start on a semi-good paper brand. Like it came because of the level of effort that I put into my business, which goes to show that it doesn't matter how or who's clapping. It doesn't matter who's clapping. There's somebody that will clap louder than 500 people in the room because they have the platform to put you on. So it means just keep going.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who get offended by so-and-so hasn't supported my brand or posted on their story because it's a friend or it's a friend of a friend. It's just like, is that friend of a friend going to change your life? Do you know what I mean? Like you're not creating a business for who you know right now. You're creating it for the audience who requires the business that you're making. So stop looking at the people around you and have a bigger vision for where you're heading, and then you won't be easily offended by who's right beside you. Do you know what I mean? Because you're not waiting for these people, you're going forward.
Yeah.
So the biggest lesson I've learned is to literally be my biggest cheerleader and have no expectation of anyone. Yeah. Because my audience will find me. And that's the truth.
I love that. I love that you said that. And you said something very important. I think, I think any business you do, you require some level of support. And I think it's very easy for people to want the support from their immediate circle. And if they don't get that, and it's not because those people don't want to do that. If they don't get it the way they want, they just, some people get offended by it, really, really offended by it. So I love the fact that you're saying that actually what you're building is not for the people around you. Of course it's not. Like, that's not why you're doing it. You didn't think to yourself, oh yeah, you're doing it for the world, right? Or whoever
is your
in
audience.
that. Exactly. So it's very, I really like that you said that. How did you come to terms with that? Because it's interesting. It would be interesting to know like how you came to terms with that, how you switch your mindset. Because I'd imagine, right, when you're starting, especially at the beginning,
of course,
it's super hard, right?
Yeah,
like
you need
maybe not much people know what you're doing, and you're trying to get yourself out there. You're trying to establish yourself. How did you like?
Yeah. Do you know what? I'm not one of those people that suffered the hand of so and so didn't support me. So and so. By the grace of Almighty God, I had an extreme amount of support from incredible family and friends who put money down when they needed to, who shouted my name when they needed to, who recommended me when they needed to. So I'm not out here saying I didn't get support. But what I did do was when the voices of other people would start to say, oh, has so-and-so ordered, has so-and-so said, I was like, hello. Is that the only person I need in my to pay for my stuff? Like, I started to get irritated with people asking me whether so-and-so has bought or so-and-so has supported me, when I'm like, did I wake up and so-and-so was right next to me telling me to start this business? So that started to I said, I don't listen to that. That's noise. I'm blocking it out. So-and-so isn't the one that helped me get the Telegraph. So-and-so didn't tell Megan Good to endorse me. So-and-so didn't open the door with John Lewis. So it's like, you don't look for those voices to be your focus, because at the end of the day, everyone can do what they can. But when you start expecting, that's when the problem comes in. And I've stopped expecting and I'm just doing.
Yeah. I think it's a form of entitlement. Yeah. That is not required when you come to business. You shouldn't be doing business for entitlement
at all.
Right. And I love that you really said this, because I feel like you understand your mission, you understand your why, you understand your goals. So anything else is just noise, really, to you, right? It doesn't bother you because you know what you're trying to do, and you understand that the people who want your stuff will come to it, like, as they are, right? Which is why you've gotten what you've gotten in how long has this business been? 2 years, right? Look how much has happened in 2 years. We're not even talking 5, we're not talking 10. So yeah, it can only really go up from here. Okay, so obviously we talked about 100 entrepreneurs to watch, Telegraph, talked about all the pop-ups. What would you say has been the biggest success to date for Toyo Writes?
I don't even know. The biggest success to date. Wow. I don't even know what to say. I haven't actually thought about it.
You haven't thought about that, right? Yeah. It's so funny when I ask all the business people that come on my show. I think, like, it's so funny because I think all of you are so driven. You're so focused on go. What's the next thing? What's the next thing? You don't even get to pat yourself on the back and say, oh my God, I did all this amazing stuff. Like, I was going through your page, like, wow, like, you did this, you just did this. And like, oh.
Oh, thank you.
Do
you know what?
I mean, it's humble. It's good.
Oh, no, thank you. I feel like, I don't know how to answer that, but I will say in a nutshell, I'm actually just proud of who I am today. I'm proud of everything that has come together to make me who I currently am. And I can look back and I say, I don't regret the decision. Like, I'm so happy with who I am. The happiest I've been in a long time. And that's an achievement.
Yeah. And so who is that person? If we go circle back.
She's a boss babe.
Yeah. A boss.
She's a boss babe. But she's a woman who my younger self, like 17-year-old me, is like, what? Like, this is my dream woman who I am now to my younger self. So
wow.
That's what she is.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And what would you say has been the biggest challenge for Toyo Writes? Because obviously we all have challenges in our business. For me, some of the biggest challenges that I've had with the podcast, I paused it at the beginning of the year. And then I was like, oh, am I doing it? Am I not doing it? And then I started it in April, obviously getting guests, and then obviously it was tough getting people. I've had challenges, had people only had one person not turn up. That was once. And then obviously I've had listens go down like that at one point. Oh my God, like, I'm gonna continue this thing. So I've had my challenges, right? And I've overcome them, and things are better than ever. So what would you say is some of your challenges?
My challenges. The biggest challenge was isolation and loneliness.
Okay.
I started in a pandemic, so all I knew was isolation and loneliness. So overcoming that through just finding like-minded people, for instance, having a business partner, having these women's networks and entrepreneurial networks has been like so beautiful. But when you've been isolated for so long, having to interact with people is like a new normal again. Because I've always been kind of a social butterfly, but then being forced to be in a cocoon, having to find your wings again, you're like, damn, can I actually fly? But you find your rhythm, So isolation was my biggest challenge. I found it really difficult, but it also enabled me to become who I am. Another challenge is sometimes, what would I say? Funding. That's the next step for my business is funding. And being a Black woman and a female founder, part of what they said in the Telegraph is women find it a ridiculous amount harder to get funding, let alone being a Black woman as well. So this is a challenge that I'm excited to overcome. Another challenge that there's been is bringing people into your vision. Like, okay. I'm employing people now. Yeah. And doing that, you have to look at their vision, their desires, their passions, and you have to say, do you actually do you see where this brand is going? How long will you stay with this brand? Do you know what I mean? Because I can sit and be in this brand because I'm the founder of it. I gave birth to this thing. So I'm never going to leave my child. But other people can leave your child because they never gave birth to it. So I'm reading a book right now about being surrounded by idiots. What?
Wait, hold on. What? That sounds so rude.
I know, but it's
you can't call your employees idiots.
Yeah, I know, I'm never. Right? But that's the name of the book. And it's explaining personality types.
Okay, cool.
I need to remember the name of the author. It's just I remember the title of the book.
They're probably doing that to grab people in, and it's got nothing to do that. They're like, what kind of of course.
But it's a fantastic book, and it describes various different personalities, and it puts them into color groups and color, and it's great, and it just gives me understanding of why certain people are that way. Why do they do that? Because not to toot my own horn, but I'm extremely adaptable. You can put me in a room and I'll see the nature of the room and the people in it, and I'll adapt to that room. Other people, they will sink or swim, or they'll just leave and run. And I found that people sometimes can't adapt to the environment, so I have to adapt to the fact that they can't adapt. So as I'm learning leadership skills in a sense, because I just started a business because I loved being creative, but being a business owner, founder, you have to then be a leader as well. Yeah. So this is another skill I'm developing.
How are you finding that it's because it's interesting now, you're on the opposite end of it, right? Yeah. Like you obviously you've been employed before, right? And you now know what that experience is like and what you didn't like. Yeah. How are you incorporating that into your leadership with employing people, because now now you're responsible for them. Yeah. Right.
First of all, I love that question.
Yeah.
Why I love that question is because I felt like certain people I worked with in the past really lacked emotional intelligence. And that's something that I'm driving into my working style, my work ethic. So I actively think about, how does someone feel on the end of this conversation, on the end of this task I'm giving them? Do you know what I mean? So I'm trying to be really compassionate. I'm trying to really have a heart. And I feel like I heard someone say that women would be more ideal managers and founders than men because we have emotional capacity. So we try and understand who we're hiring. We try and understand people, and I feel like that's a strength of mine that I'm trying to really put in my workplace and my business.
Okay. That makes sense. I think you're right. I think no longer the old style of management's out, old style of leadership's out. Nobody's gonna take it anymore because we have options. We can. It's true. We will look on Glassdoor if we see anything. If we see a score that's bad, we see that you don't treat your employees well. We're not gonna work for you. The best people won't work for you, right? And at the end of the day, we're all adults, so you should treat us like adults. So yeah, I completely agree. I think empathy is definitely an important part of it for sure. What other things have changed about the business? Obviously, you started hiring people. You've got a business partner. What other stuff would you say is changed?
Yeah, I'm really looking at the investment space. So venture capital.
Okay.
Funding.
Oh, for you to start, you can start pitching, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, no. There's opportunities for sure. For sure. There's so much money in this world. You should definitely.
There is. Literally, I thought to myself, how much money is moving in the atmosphere
Billions.
on Black Friday?
Billions.
On Black Friday in particular. I was thinking of the amount of transfers that are going on. I was like, just give me 10%. So I was like 10%.
You can get that 10% for sure.
Just 10%.
For sure.
Of a trillion. But so funding.
Cool. Yeah, we'll talk offline about that. We'll talk offline about that. What would you say is the thing that scares you the most though about Toyo Writes? Like what keeps you up at night?
Oh wow. What keeps me up at night?
There must be things. There's always things in it, right? That keeps you up.
I never want to reach a glass ceiling. I never want to get bored.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's true. Like, I'm like, I love this now. I'm 27. I've been doing this since I was 25.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, 37-year-old me, what does she look like? What's she up to? You know what I mean? Where's the business going? So I constantly, I've learned that those who go far go with other people.
Okay.
So I'm open to receiving feedback, advice. That's that KPMG culture coming in.
Yeah.
Get some feedback.
I love that you're incorporating the good parts of that. Yeah.
But the creative people naturally are very, very sensitive. And I'm sensitive too, but I've also been put in the fire that sensitivity, we got to quickly just take it and close that, put the plaster there so we can just improve. So what I'm scared of, I don't know if I'm actually scared. I think
doesn't sound like you're scared of anything.
No, I don't think I'm scared.
That's good.
I'm excited.
Fearless. I love it. Keep that optimism. Okay, so obviously you've been an entrepreneur for a few years. How are you actually feeling about it now that you can compare it to formerly working in a 9 to 5? Like, how do you feel about it? And if it's stressful, how do you manage the stress of it? Well,
entrepreneur life. I love it.
Yeah.
I feel like this is why I was so uncomfortable in the corporate, in Canary Wharf specifically for so long. I feel like I thought I was so. Do you know what's interesting? I had a conversation. No, sorry. I thought about a conversation I had at uni with a careers coach who asked me who I wanted to be when I was studying law at Warwick, and I was just like, I don't know. Like, I had everyone around me applying for investment banking jobs, and I just felt like if I don't apply for an investment banking job, I'm gonna be so like shamed, like put to shame because I don't have an investment banking job. And I was scared that I want to be an investment banker, but everyone's getting these jobs. I need a job, So when I was asked what do I want to do, I broke down in tears because I didn't have a clue. So when I found out about consulting, I was happier because I was like, okay, it seems like more like me. Then when I found myself in a team in KPMG that allowed me to be creative, I was like, oh, okay, so I actually can be creative and get paid, So what was the question?
What was the question? How do you feel about being an entrepreneur?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love being an entrepreneur because I feel like I'm myself.
And do you find it stressful? Do you find any of it stressful? And if you do, how do you manage it?
Yeah. It is stressful, but because it comes naturally to me, I just write down everything that I need to do. I organize my time. I think ahead. Like even with the Telegraph announcement, I had 2 months to plan how I was going to capitalize on it.
Yeah.
I had an exhibition coming the week after. I had a conversation with you coming the week after.
Yeah, we spoke about it. Yeah.
I was just like, how do I make sure this is valuable?
Yeah.
So I'm always thinking ahead.
Do you feel like you work more now than when you were in your 9 to 5? Be honest.
Yeah. No, that's a good question because they say I stopped my 9 to 5, but I ended up working. They say, But I definitely work more, but I'm working smarter. So me working more still is more valuable.
Yeah. Yeah, because I learned a new term recently, something called sweat equity into your business. It's very interesting. So so the idea is you may not be getting paid from your business, but you're building equity in it, right? So eventually, when you do get paid, of course, if you own 100% of it, you're gonna get a big chunk of it, right? So it's very, very, very interesting. I'm thinking about breaks, right? So like even when I'm off for like 3-4 days, it's very hard for me to switch off. Do you switch off at all? Yeah. Do you take regular breaks for yourself? Because I'm just trying to think like, how can you advise people to make sure they take breaks? They should, obviously switch off their phone, switch off their emails, and how you do that.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think I do take breaks. I turn my phone off or do not disturb. I put my do not disturb.
You actually do it?
Yeah, okay. I use do not disturb. I also like sometimes I just have a nap.
Yeah.
I literally nap all the time, or
oh my God.
Yeah, or I'll listen to something motivational or pray. But I definitely do take breaks because I don't want to burn out.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I think it's super important because you're working on it all the time, pretty much every day. Do you work weekends on it?
Yeah.
Work weekends. You got your business partner. You got your employees that you're doing, trying to get funding. You're trying to get this work. You're trying to, everything is going at 100 miles an hour. And I think, like we said before, I think it's always good to like just be like, yeah, let me enjoy this space right now, where I am, the present, right? Because we're always thinking about the future, but we're not even enjoying the actual present, right? So I think it's super, super important. So my final question is, so obviously a lot of people want to. I think entrepreneurship is like becoming more and more popular every year. And that's because people are making, you can make this money, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So it's becoming super, super important. If you were to, do it all again, what would you advise yourself? What would you advise 25-year-old Toyosi? Yeah.
Sorry, that's such a nice question. I would advise myself to have a mentor. Because having a mentor has honestly changed my life. Like, and it's so funny how I met my mentor. I met him at by doing a pop-up in Boots, and he just walked up to me and he was just impressed with my stand. And then from there, exchanged business cards, and he became my mentor. And literally some of my greatest wins have come off the back of that, because he's been giving me great ideas. He's already had a business. He already is, he's made a lot of money. Do you know what I mean? So he gives me a lot of great advice. And if I had that mentor in 2020, I would have felt less lonely. I would have had more direction. And I could have even capitalized on some of my wins even more than I did at the time. I'm happy for everything, but I would have said, you need a mentor. As soon as I left that company, I would have been like, the first thing I need to look for is a mentor.
Yeah.
But it came in the end. So
Wow. That's epic. I agree. I think a mentor is super important, especially someone who's been there, done that. Yes. They can give you the guidance. And it sounds like they've had a big help in what you're doing. And do you see this like it'll be long-term, like a long-term mentor forever? Pretty much.
I feel like he's family.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. Like, what are the odds, right? That you'll find a mentor through your like just a pop-up, right? Your pop-up that you're doing.
Can you imagine?
That's crazy. That's mad. It's like, and this is the thing. This is what people always say, like, oh, go and find a mentor. Sometimes it's in the most natural situations, the best way, because it's just happens naturally. Oh, actually, yeah, like we get along.
I'm crying. I'm not.
Do you know what I mean? You get along and it works out. So yeah. So on that note, what do you have planned next for Toyo Writes and yourself personally?
Yes. So by this time next week, I would have done my first solo exhibition.
Yeah.
As sponsored by Barclays.
Yes. Yeah. That's big. You know what's crazy? This episode's coming after, unfortunately.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine.
But do you have any other ones planned?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Are you allowed to say?
Yeah. I've got,
say them, yeah.
An international one.
Yeah.
At a private women's club in Lagos, Nigeria.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
when's that?
That should be Q1 2023.
Okay, cool.
And there are some other ones coming up. There's lots coming up. I'm working with some incredible women who are killing it.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
there should be a space coming that is completely decorated with TW artworks.
Wow, that's sick. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Looking forward to see that, and then we'll definitely get you in for another interview in a year's time. And where can people find you?
Okay, you can find the Toyo Writes business online. So that's www.toyowrites.com. And you can also find us on Instagram, Toyo Writes, and Twitter, Toyo Writes, TikTok, Toyo Writes, and myself on Instagram is Toyograms.
Yeah, love that. Do you have any final words for the listeners, watchers?
Do you know what? You're your number one fan, so believe in yourself. Literally, as cliche as it sounds, like nobody will push you like you can. Nobody can do it like you can. And even if the market is saturated, your star will still shine.
Love that. You are your North Star. All right. I love that. Thank you so much for, blessing us on the podcast again, being a repeat guest and, just talking, giving us an update, what your journey is. I think I'll do this as a yearly thing because it'll be interesting to go back and be like, oh, okay, in 2021, this is where we're at. 2022, this is where we're at. 2023, 2024, 2025, right? I think it'll be really cool to do it because we're almost like documenting the journey for future people. That's what it's about, right? To listen, right?
Like
the
Kanye documentary.
Oh, not like that. I don't know if it's gonna be that detailed.
But seriously, that's.
But in a podcast version, yeah. I mean, a lot of people, I'm getting them back to come on because it's always good, right, to hear like how they've progressed, what they've learned, what's been like the like challenges, because that's ultimately we're all trying to learn from each other and support each other and help each other. So like it'll be good. It'll be interesting to. I'm interested. I've got a vested interest in it as well, right?
Yeah.
So it's really been good hearing your story. Obviously I wish you more success, more pop-ups in the future, more collaborations, more walls, more announcements. I'm sure it's coming. Like it's funny because we talked last year and look what happened a few weeks later. So you never know, something else might happen. Watchers, listeners, I hope that you've enjoyed this episode of the Take Up Experience. And we'll see you next week.